Productions present Street Topics, and you don't want to get caught slipping. You don't know what topics they're going to serve you, from current events to politics, for topics that they don't even want to talk about. From old school
When we run out
remedies.
of medicine, grandma have our remedies. But I'm not gonna lie. One remedy that I wish I could remember exactly what she had, but she mixed them together. And when by the time I got through with that, listen, I must have been the most drunk. I felt drunk. I know I didn't understand what drunk, but now I look back.
Heated topics causing disagreements.
Negative because that's what all of y'all like. It's just very heavy and negative.
Well,
so we're all
get
saying
on
have
another
emotional
show.
conversations when we're just bashing each other.
On another show. We ain't negative, woman, girl.
No matter how heated the conversation may get, these gentlemen always come back together with solutions.
You got to learn how to respect each other. Respect each other's differences. You know, we're not supposed to all think.
What's up? It's another episode of Street Topics where we go live, raw, and in the trenches and much more. It's not just me. We ready for war. It's about to be World War III because we like to keep the voice of America much more live and raw. It's your C Holmes as always, bring it to you. And then I have the one and only Josh.
The J, the A-double-S-I-E-M. I am here in the house, in the trenches, brother. I'm here in the trenches. Let's go ahead and get this rolling. Hey, because we not playing, baby. We not playing.
Not at all. And then we got something that's going to hit people pretty hard on this. We're talking about Anthony Edwards versus child support. But before we dive right into it, let's go ahead and showcase a video that's going to set everything up.
Roll it.
Y'all, the streets are saying Anthony Edwards notified a judge that he wants to pay 18 years of child support up front, over $1 million, basically because he never wants to deal with this woman or her child ever again. And people have mixed feelings about it. Some people are saying it's a smart business move, which it is, because then they never have to have any disputes about how much money he's making in the future, if he gets a raise, if he signs a new contract, whatever. They never have to deal with any child support disputes ever again. And the child support is based on his current salary. However, people are also saying that he's so wrong for that, not wanting to deal with his child. Some people are saying, well, duh, he told her not to have the kid to have an abortion. He doesn't want to have a kid with her, and she had the kid anyways. I have an interesting perspective, or should I say opinion. I feel like she's to blame for the fact that why would you even sleep with a man who has had that many babies in the span of a year and is in a relationship? Girl, what? But also, why would you shouldn't have unprotected you know what with somebody you don't want to have a child with. That is the risk you're taking. I know this generation wants to believe is a little less serious than that. It's not. She responded to people calling her a gold digger and said, are you digging for poverty when you slept with your broke baby daddy? Which was a read, by the way. She clocked, y'all. Not me. Y'all stay safe. But Anthony Edwards had 2 children in 2023 and 2 children in 2024 by 4 different women. And he's 23 years old. Do you think you would have slept with a broke man who had that resume? Hell no. But at the same time, you got to call a spade a spade. You can't just be putting babies in people and expecting them to have an abortion. Not everybody's comfortable or wants to do that shit, especially when you got all that money. Third person I'm looking at sideways is his current girlfriend. Because baby. Now, you got to be a little lenient on her because she was pregnant for most of it and then now she's a postpartum mother. But baby, free yourself. If you want some money, write a book. You're watching him pay 18 years of child support up front so that he can ignore one of your child's siblings. How are y'all going to explain this? Messy.
Well, that was definitely a mouthful. So, I'm going to say, well, I'll let you lead with this because I've been always giving my opinions on this. Let's hear some opinions from the OG so they won't think it's just me all the time.
Brother, she said a mouthful and everything she said was absolutely correct in what she was saying. First of all, that was a smart legal move on his part. Very smart. And for those that are upset about that side of the fence, it shows you your level of mentality because he got over like what she just described. See, when someone does that, she's pointed out all the facts. She can't come back and say, I want more money. Because what's going to happen, the judge is going to simply just state the facts. Well, where all that money that he paid up front, over $1 million some dollars. Now, mind you, why would she be upset and complaining? Because child support depends on who or what, if I remember correctly, but you please correct me, Chris. Is it non-taxable? And if it is non-taxable, why are you complaining?
I believe it is non-taxable, but I'm gonna go ahead and look it up in the Google lections, as Baker would say. He's on here, but I'm gonna look it up real quick. But I believe that is actually correct. So let's see.
So if it's non-taxable, let's go off and say if it's non-taxable, why are you complaining? Not in this climate, economic climate, where they're cutting costs and everything else. Why are you complaining? It's non-taxable. The government cannot touch that money. So why are you complaining? Second is the fact that when
This is what I
he
pulled up, so y'all know. Keep going.
second, why she is a gold digger. You know, that's that Kanye West gold digger. She is a gold digger because if she already
You know, you probably pissed off a whole lot of women with that. Now you would hold on now, hold on now.
think about it. If you think about it, you know this man have kids out there.
What was it,
Like
four again? I think he had like more than one. It wasn't like his uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
so if he has 4 kids and he's telling you he don't want any kids, not only is he not telling you he don't want any kids, you're not demanding or pushing the fact that he needs to wear a condom to have protective sex. So
And
why would
neither
you
does he care out of it, because like, you know, young men at that age, like early 20s, they're not thinking about, they should. I mean, you basically a huge target. I know damn well I will wrap up.
And that is true. So you knew all of this, but you went in to this situation knowing all this was going to happen. But you thought that you were going to get over, but he got over on you. Now, what does that say about you and your character, or anybody character that thinks that what she did was okay and there was no fault in her?
You want to know why? Because we're in this current state where we don't, okay, we want to hold men to accountability, but it's like we don't want to put women at that same standard. And then when things go south, it's like the man is supposed to suck it up, show no kind of emotion, and just figure it out, which I get. I understand that. But the accountability also has to go to the woman's side as well. Because what happens is it sets up, in my opinion, this situation where a woman can get away with a lot of different things based off their feelings and emotions. Like, no one's pointing out the fact that what was her thinking process, because if you know that this person has had multiple kids already, uno, dos, tres, he was at cuatro, and you know this person is not always like in, I guess, whatever his history. I can't quote too much on his history as a father, but you already know he has kids. That's the fact of the matter of fact. You already know he has kids. And so you're like, oh, he has money, so it should be okay. What does that tell you about her? Like, you knew this person already had kids, and you knew this person was already trying to have fun, but you saw a golden opportunity and ignored those flags. That's why I'm saying, like, the accountability also needs to be posed on the woman as well. Now, the guy's at fault too. I'm not putting that over, but on the woman as well.
Now, what I also see in this too that's being ignored is if he's having all these kids, he's sleeping with all these different females. then there must be something psychologically wrong with him that has not been fed, that he needs, that he is not getting, whether if it's love that he wasn't getting growing up, or whether if it was attention that he felt he wasn't getting, or the fact he might have felt abandonment if he grew up in a single parent household. I'm just giving those examples because for someone to think like that, it's a inside look of something is wrong with the person inside their head. And that goes with the
Let's
young
not
lady
ignore
too.
this. But let's not ignore this. With social media, the trends, and much more, I think we are in the stage where everybody likes a quick spite of validation out of like out of anything. It's like gone are the days. I know we've talked about this on my previous podcast on yours, but the foundations of like a lot of different things is not there like it used to. Everybody's like a microwave society. Here, 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 here. Like you're seeing more women out there that instead, like I'll put it like this: I respect, because you know how people like to pop on the head with emoji, like, oh, you know, he hates women. No, stupid ass. I date women all the time, dumb motherfucker. I had to put that like that. But the thing is, I respect women who actually worked hard for what they earned. And they pretty much took their chances on themselves. They invested in themselves to get a higher education. They network and put themselves in the right positions. They actually earned that. I do not have respect, honestly, to a person who thinks they are entitled to that success or lifestyle and haven't done shit. Like, if anything, I know other women out there who get pissed off at a woman like that because it's like you ain't put nothing in. And how the fuck you gonna ask for some respect if you ain't been in the trenches and worked hard? It's like, and then I asked this follow-up question: what if you had a mother who busted her ass each and every day to support you through your, education, career, and much more, and now all of a sudden you got this motherfucker that wants to expect to have an entitlement to success? I would feel disrespect because I'd be like, no, my mom worked her ass off for this. Why should I respect you? You ain't did nothing. But hey, maybe they call me old school.
I mean, you have a point. I don't disagree with you on that. But it's these new generation of kids, and I can say kids, these new generation of kids, to me, like you said, they feel entitled. And because they feel like things need to be given and handed to them, it's usually because, not all the time, in my opinion, just in my opinion, they get that from the parents. Not all kids. Some kids are just straight up born selfish, straight up issues psychologically where they want to be mean and evil. There are kids that's just born like that
Child's a reflection of you.
to a certain extent. Once those kids are gone out your house, there's no excuse on their behavior, because if when a parent gives a child good guidance, good structure, and they still decide to go the opposite way, it only shows you an area where they were lacking that the parents did not see, far as low confidence, for them to follow the wrong crowd versus staying on the right path. Their confidence level was low, or something to that effect. But these kids, and in this particular situation, he has some kind of psychological issue or problem that everybody's quick to ignore, and they look at the action but never pull the layers back to actually see behind the action. What is the root cause for him to even think or act or conduct himself in that kind of process?
So let me bring up this comment again, and it kind of I think keys onto what you're talking about. So, of course, you have Rashana Lee with we need to stop pointing the fingers at him or her, but yes, it's the psychological problems. So, and then the follow-up comment was exactly pull the layers back, but I want to put this back up here so the audience can see this as well. And I want you to follow up with this, but I'll also say, in my own opinion, I think a lot of past trauma that has been passed down for generation and much more that has
Mm-hmm.
fucked us up generational, that is actually destroying family households. It's like we don't look at the black man, and I know, of course, you have fathers of all different races, but I'm just using my own personal reference, that the black man, in my opinion, is not respected or loved as it should be. It's anything, it's like nowadays in 2025, it's like we're treating the black man as an asset or just to talk shit about when he's fucking up, and nobody wants to actually help or care about his mental capacity or how he feels and things like that. It'd be like, oh, he's just okay, he'll toughen up. But then when the guy snaps, oh, he falls into this issue, like the stereotype of going, to jail, prison. You have domestic violence. But one of the common things I think I said a long time ago is one of the biggest things that's like you hear a lot from prison inmates when they get locked up is this: I just want to be heard. So think about that. Think of like all the black men that's outside, not incarcerated, who just wants to be heard, but they have to hold all this stuff internally.
Well, I can say this much in regards to what you said. This is a issue with black men dealing with our own women. So let's not just say it's just a one-sided thing, but let's understand that there are several parts to the layer. Yes, men do want to be heard. We do want to be heard. But the problem is this, that women do not understand, especially our women, is sometimes, and I agree with Baker, you have to shut the hell up and just listen, because sometimes we just need to vent. Sometimes we just need to get things that we're suppressing out. Sometimes we need
I do
we
that for a
we
reason because that's gonna sound alarming for a lot of these women. Because as soon as you hear that, it's like, oh, you just want me to shut the fuck up. It's like, no, we just want an opportunity. I want you to keep going, an opportunity to be heard.
that's it. Because let's look at if the shoe is on the other foot. If a man is constantly talking, or a man is constantly ignoring, or a man is sitting there watching a sports game, and a woman, his woman or his lady or his wife or his girlfriend, whatever label they want to be, what's going to end up happening is they get pissed off, they throw tantrums, they get upset, and what do the women say? You're not listening to me. You're not giving me no attention. You're not showing me no love. Well, how is that in a relationship? That this statement is a bunch of crock, where happy wife, happy life. Only a woman made that statement.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna piss people off. I can't stand that statement because to me, like I've heard that for so many years, and I didn't question it at first. But I think and I'm still with years, I'm still learning. But the more that I see from my own experience and then see from others, I'm starting to hate that because it's like indirectly telling me is like, okay, I need to pretty much provide and for all of her needs and fuck what the fuck I feel like. And I never will forget I had a moment where I was like, is this what life is supposed to be? Am I supposed to be miserable? Am I
Mm-mm,
supposed to pretty much sacrifice myself to the point where she's happy, but I feel pretty much worthless in this world,
mm-mm,
only to be used as an asset? This feels horrible.
mm-mm. No, it's not supposed to be that way. It is not supposed to be that way. The way it's supposed to be a give and take. First of all, if I'm hurting, for example, and I'm talking to my wife, she listens, and not hearing, but listening. And there's a big difference. A lot of our women hear, but a very few of our women listen.
Let
And
me like add on to give you alley oop, and then where's my professor? You listen just to respond, not listen to understand.
and when you listen, you comprehend, because you're taking the time to actually process what is being said. When you are hearing, you have what I call selective hearing. You hear what you want, when you want, how you want, but you're really not doing anything but focusing on yourself because you're not listening whatsoever. And this is the problem. And in this particular situation with Anthony Edwards and this child support, he told her she wasn't listening. Now, yes, there is a psychological issue with him and her. And we've talked about it on In the Trenches, and I believe on this podcast, the fact that going to counseling is taboo for the Black community. And this is the
It's
problem.
definitely looked down upon when it shouldn't.
And this is the problem of why we consistently having issues in our community. We have consistently having problems in the community because parents ignore signs that show that a child or an individual needs help, needs someone to speak to, needs someone to talk to, needs someone that they feel comfortable with to express, which calls also the listening again, what is going on and help mold and correct them in the right way, not ignoring and walk away. This is an issue. And this is just not
Pause. I
about
don't
child
want you to.
support,
I
it's
want to help our.
psychological.
I want to help our audience because especially like I feel like this goes into child support because listening to each other for understanding, and I feel like that's the biggest issue when it comes down to it. Because like so many, I think what's going on is like women are programmed. When I say program, it's like propaganda, just to pretty much them vent all the time, and we listen, receive, and then when other things come up, it creates issues. But it's like the trajectory is only to listen to the women's point of views only, and then it's like we place this bad guys status quo thing on us, and we're not really actually trying to learn how to help each other. It's more of now becoming more toxic, and then breaking up and splitting a family household, and then it progress and then promotes this like child support and much more. And it's like you have music, videos, and all these different things on Netflix and much more advertising like this is the thing and how to come up very easily.
Mhm. Well, in regards to what you just said, if a person doesn't, first of all, know how to love themselves and know who they are, and the parents are not teaching that, that's the problem. That's where the issue begins and have began. And what I mean by that, in our community, other than Malcolm X, MLK, uh, W.B. Du Bois, Thurgood Marshall, other than that, what other history is are you teaching your child or your children so they can see themselves in the history and see the capability of our community can do?
But you
That
know what?
brings up.
I would say this, 'cause I think this generation wouldn't be able to handle those black figures today because if anything, they'll probably be offended because there's so much of a powerhouse and speaking up. I feel like they'll be like, oh, they're just trying to overpower us or just say certain things just so we can just shut up and listen. And I think that's what's the problem. Is like we've gotten almost like out of place and to the point of it's like we look at, let's say, manhood and this like leadership and core of love and much more as a way of attacking and not looking at the bigger picture. Like I think that's what's really fucking up a lot of different things, and that's we switched into this role where it's more acceptable to have a woman lead in every different things. Now I will say women have progressed a lot. But what is happening is, I think, it's like women have gotten so used to being into a career lifestyle to the point where they feel like they're completely independent. They don't need a man. And so the moment that a man does not fulfill anything, it's like, I'm going to put child support on you, especially if you have a child, against you. And it's like taking away and destroying the core principles of like forming, having a family as a unit of one. And now it's like, I'm using this basically like I have this gun under your neck that if you fuck up and don't do as I tell you to, or if I have an emotional hissy fit, I'm going to use this to destroy you and get every last dime that you worked hard for. And I think that's really fucking up a lot of black families today. You muted, Justin.
the way I look at it differently. I look at it, first of all, we have no more pride. And I'm not talking about ABC community. Second of all, women have been pushing so much to want to be equal to men. And that has been such a major issue and major thing for them that they have forgotten their role as a woman in a relationship. Men have a role. Now, with the ABC community, that came in my opinion, has helped divide it even further the community because now you have she's that want to be he's and he's want to be she's. And so the
Everything out of
roles,
line. We don't know how to act or move nowadays.
my point exactly. Because since everything is out of line, the community is divided.
I want us you to hit on this comment, and I want to see if you agree or disagree on this one. Historically, black men don't want to get help. We still do not trust doctors. What do you have to say on that?
Well, historically, this is absolutely correct. But this is only the top layer. Why do we don't trust doctors? Let's look at history. And that's why I said earlier, if we knew our history, we will understand it. When they did so many exams and tests on us, syphilis and all of that, why do we still try to trust them? Not only that, who are the doctors? What color are the doctors? Can they be trusted? Because historically, we've always gotten screwed, historically, in the past, by white doctors. And we're lied to. Who, as Baker would say, is the dominant culture that's running things in this country? It is not us. We only make 14%. And what's going on now and have been going on in politics is what? Empty promises and lies. So if the government is still lying,
The continuous cycle.
if the government is to continue to lie, FDA is lying to you. FDA is approving over 10,000 additives to be put in your food and causing you to have health issues. And the health issues, you go to the doctor. The doctor is giving you medications through the pharmaceutical company. Pharmaceutical companies making the money. And so it's a vicious cycle. So black men are not stupid. This is the reason why we don't trust doctors. And if you think I'm lying, those that are listening and watching, grab any of your medications, go to WebMD, type it in, and look up the side effects of those and write it down. When you write that side effects down, then look at your medical records if you have access to it and look up under it says problem list and see that the side effects caused another problem that you had to go to a doctor for, which gave you medication that caused another side effect, which caused you to go back to the doctor. It's a vicious cycle. So, yes, we don't trust doctors. I don't too much trust them too much. I don't trust them no further. I can throw them. And I know damn well I
Not
can't
go, you
throw
can
them.
throw them. You out now. Okay, so, and then I'm going to hit this one because I think it needs to be addressed. What message are we sending to the young ladies? Because what I'm seeing now, and you can hate this comment or not, is like we're pretty much advertising and promoting our young little girls and young women to become basically gold diggers. Yeah, I said just how I said it. Because look what you're promoting. You're promoting this luxury lifestyle just by pretty much exposing your body, not your mind, and then pretty much showcasing like, hey, if I get pregnant by this superstar, I can go from the poorest of the towns, the cities, and much more, and change my whole life around. And then I can have a stanky attitude and much more, and nobody can say nothing to me. Not my mama, not my dad, or anyone else who hates on me. Y'all just all hate us. That's the image that I'm seeing nowadays is being promoted, especially with social media and much more. Like what happened to like some of the our classic shows that actually taught us some great things and much more. It's like if you really look at the TV shows, it's like give me a black show that used to actually teach us more values. That's no longer like on mainstream.
What's happening? Uh, Jefferson's Good
Yeah,
Times.
Good Times. What was the college show? I was trying to think of it.
The
That
what
show
now?
like blacks like going to school at a university.
Oh, I know you're talking about. It was
Come on, man. It was at the tip of
behind
my.
Bill Cosby. He pushed that show.
I am so mad because I'm about to look this up. It's like I used to
I know
watch it.
what you're talking about.
It wasn't a different world, was it? No.
Yeah, yeah,
It was a different world. Let me
yeah.
see.
That's it.
Let me make sure because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Oh, it was. Yeah, it was. I missed that. We actually had shows that, and then on top of that, the women in these shows were educated. They were strong. They had a little sassiness, but they were educated. Like, what happened to our image? We went from that to this. And now we're promoting, to spread our legs, pretty much get pregnant and much more. We need more shows like A Different World, in my opinion, to actually put more positive outlooks into life. Because now it's like I don't even know what's to expect in this generation. And then it's like a norm and then like I said, you see little girls seeing this, and they're like, oh, I'm just going to become pregnant. Like, what's your dreams? What's your things that you want to obtain in life? I mean, you're so much more than just that.
Well, that goes back to how parents are raising their kids. If it's already been ingrained and instilled into the child, and the parent is actually doing the work and not ignoring the child and what the child's need, because there are parents that ignore their kids and focus more on themselves than their child and not provide what's needed. That is a parent issue. But if the parent, like I said before, if the parent is actually putting in the work, and the child is of age, and the child is out the house, the parent has no more accountability on that child by whatsoever. Now you pose a question about what are we teaching, right? This is what's been going on, what's been teaching. People are teaching and allowing their kids to think it is okay for several things. One, it's okay to be a hoe. It's okay
Watch
to
it
be a
now.
hoe.
Wait. You sounded wrong. Because somebody get offended. Somebody get offended on that. Because like I'm actually gonna pick up from that. Because like look at the the images just from the show A Different World. I mean, you got people like dressed up in suits. It's like you see smiles. Everybody like they have their challenges and much more, but you don't get this negative image that you see today. You see more of anything like a positive outlook than anything. But now it's like we're promoting the great American home.
And
Go
that's what
ahead.
it is. Well, like I was saying, is this. We are promoting it's okay for your daughter to be a hoe for somebody else, but it's not okay. It is not okay when the shoe's on the other foot. But we also promote that we have no standards. We have no values. We have no goals. We have no self-respect. We are we are going to promote. We're gonna constantly be unhappy. We're gonna constantly be ungrateful. We're gonna constantly be unloving. We're gonna constantly and not want to be or do better, to accept it, and we're gonna promoting that people will accept all of this that I'm naming, just a few, and then it's okay for me to complain about it. Well, why are you complaining about it? And you know what the problem is, and you don't want to correct the problem. So, in my opinion, if you know what the problem is, and most people do, and you don't want to change, then shut the hell up. Stop complaining. Make the change. Change is never going to be easy, and there's always going to be changes no matter what throughout your life. There's changes that I'm doing, everybody is doing, that actually wants to be better, do better, and gain respect. And this is the reason why the dominant culture lack the respect of our community because of what we promote and allow.
Now, let me go ahead and say this. Hey, fellas, you don't think I was going to leave y'all off the other hand. I'm going to get y'all too. Because now what I'm seeing is now it's like, okay, I want to walk around, have my pants all half out my ass. Looking at a book I don't want to read that ain't cool. I think it's cool to get in trouble, take all these different photos and much more, holding the guns and things like that. Oh, by the way, that kind of screws up your job searches in the future because, like, when you try to be all professional with a suit and much more, and now you have photos found on social media with you like, hey, gang bang and all that much more. They looking at that. Your recruiters looking at that. You think they gonna want to hire you? Yeah, I'm getting on the fellas too, because we just as guilty as doing this. Especially for the young generation. Like, what do you think you're teaching society, showcasing that act? And then on top of that, it's like you're making it trying to be cool to be this kind of a person. And then we're attracting ladies who like this, and then we're having kids, and then we want to bail out and be like, why is this lady putting me on child support? Yeah, ladies need to be held to accountability. But hey, I'm not gonna lie, us fellas are up too. Like, come on now. Like, look at the energy and much more that you're putting out there. Like, we need to change the whole thing, environment, and how we pretty much lead. Because to me, that's not leadership. That's trash. We're teaching that it's okay for ladies to be pretty much skimping with all that and light clothing. We're teaching that we shouldn't get to know a lady for a person, her personalities, likes, and much more. It's like we pretty much digress and overlook all that and then just pretty much want to go for ass and titties. Ass and titties. So yes, fellas, we just as fault for that.
And get it complain the fact that the guy doesn't respect them because the way they look, the way they dress. And see, I've had this conversation, and let's be real. I've had this conversation with my oldest daughter, but she knows better, but won't do better. Okay, and the fact that I have standards, and my standard is you're not going to come around me looking and wearing some type of way. I'll be damned if
Go
you
ahead
do
and
that.
say, you want to say on the show what they be having on top of their head. You use at the tip of your
You
tongue.
know, I'll be damned if you come, because not only that, what I'm saying is the fact that you still carrying my last name. You're not going to represent me in a negative way. And this is the reason why you have the Asian
These
culture,
little girls be
Hispanic
like, I'm
culture.
not.
You have other cultures that understand the value of the last name is a reflection of your parent, your father, and the generations that came before, that is who you represent and what they went through. See, this is the other problem what's in our community, and that's still going through what we're talking about, the child support. Now, you mentioned also the guys, and you want to jump in the guys about the pants and hanging and stuff. First of all, how in the hell on God's green earth can you walk around with your pants sagging? And I'm gonna give several examples. If the cops gotta come in and chase your ass, you gotta stop, pull up your shit, and then take off and run. Now, what sense does that make? Now,
Your
it
ass
takes
ain't going
time.
nowhere. Your ass ain't going nowhere.
Now, other situation. You in a restaurant, fast food, no matter what, your pants sagging. So what I do, I'm very watchful, observing. I leave. You know why? Simply because nobody thinks. Everybody want to react and don't think, and most people are nasty as hell. Why eat and buy food in a place where somebody's pants is sagging? And so whether they're wearing gloves
Oh
or not,
no.
they stick their thumb in their damn drawers to pull it up, and they have gloves on, and they still trying to serve your damn food or grab your food. People do not think. And why would people like that walk around pants sagging? I can understand if God didn't bless you to have no ass. No ass at all is what I said.
Wait. I know we ain't gonna skip over that. Did you just say God did bless you to have no ass? You petty as hell for that.
I'm just think about it. Your back is about as your butt is about as flat and straight as your back. But your pants, that's a different
Mr.
story.
Oasis.
That's a different story if you're in that kind of situation. But if you are walking around with your pants sagging intentionally, and you know it comes from prison, and the purpose of it in prison is to let the person know you ready to get drilled in your cornhole. You think that meaning is changed on the outside, and you think it's a fashion, but yet and still
Wait a minute, you trying to say
hold
like
on, hold
wait,
on.
nigga,
You still want to talk about the ABC community being gay, being a lesbian, and all this other stuff, but you are promoting the gay and lesbian and all that you're talking about by with your pants sagging because that's what was the purpose and the meaning for it. Now, you talking about reading. Now, reading is fundamental. You stop becoming dumb as hell, you become smart, and you start impressing people, especially the dominant culture. Dominant culture like people that are smart, intelligent, that can articulate, and also know how to carry themselves in a proper means you have to wear different types, two different types of face, basically. When you're with our people, you can act how you want to in a certain way. But when you with them, you better clean up, straighten up, and get it right.
Cause Big
That is
Mama say
what
you ain't gonna be embarrassing me and I'm telling my family, I'm telling my cousin I that much. Big Mama be like, you better not get your ass in the damn house and change the damn clothes. Gonna have me
that
embarrassed. I gotta go to church this Sunday.
that's
They
the
gonna be
reason.
they gonna be asking like, why Tyrone over here walking around with his pants? The hell that they ain't gonna meet in the middle of death.
I'm telling you, this is the problem. And all this is all mental and psychological issues that relate to the situation in this topic we're talking about and how society views us when we do things like that. And then we get upset when people feel some type of way or feel disrespected, but yet you don't look at yourself in what you're doing first that may be causing for the person to say something. You walking around with some goddamn bonnet on your head
Oh shit,
in
you went
public.
there. I knew it was there. Here
Then
it
you
comes.
walking around with some damn PJs on.
I knew it was there.
Why are they calling them PJs? Why are they calling pajamas? Where do you wear pajamas? In the bed. Do you wear pajamas when you going to the store, you shopping, or you going to the mall and you shopping? Come on now, people. We had more self-respect back in the day than we do right now, and we had more common sense back in the day than we
And
do
I would
right
say
now.
that is the problem because a lot of our foundation is out the window. They don't even want to follow. They are quick to call a
That is
person
the reason why
old
I say we have
if
no values and no goals. Not
and
anymore.
and
And
you
no
got
self-respect.
babies and you got babies raising babies and then we got all this shit that's pretty much combining and much more and making things worse. So what are we gonna do to make things different? And then on top of that, it's like this is the way we look at child support is it blows my mind. Like from one, and I'll bring this up too. And honestly, I think it was a good decision for him to do because he basically saved his ass from other bullshit. Let's say if he get bonuses and much more, because she could have easily called the judge and be like, "Oh, I feel like I have the right to even more money." Fuck that bullshit.
You know the other reason why that's a good move that a lot of people don't think about, to be honest with you, is because what if he get injured and he cannot play anymore and he still has that child support that he has to pay for the 18 years?
Oh, he's fucked. Oh,
So by him paying up front and say he gets injured real bad where he can play no more professional ball, that's one weight that he is not going to have to worry about carrying on his shoulder. See, people don't look at the other side, what if? And that's why a lot of people that don't think about what if, when they don't think about that, that's why they get caught with their pants down and get screwed in the ass.
I want to bring this up too, and I'm not surprised, but I feel like it should be brought up on my show. Is I saw a lot of women make this statement, not knowing the full details of what the hell they got going on in their family. They was saying something like comments among this. Oh, he just want to get out of actually being a father. Here's how I broke this down. I was like, what the fuck do the funds have anything to do with? I understand financially support to a certain extent, because what y'all getting paid off of this is some bullshit. I mean, there's a difference between lifestyle and actual needs for survival. That's bullshit for your lifestyle. And I'm not changing my damn opinion on that. Get pissed off me or whatever. I don't give a damn. Two fucks. Making me money. I don't give a like smoking. But the thing is, it's like we're taking this out of hand and just leveraging it out for like her own selfish benefits. And it's like the comments that I'm seeing is like, oh, he doesn't want to be the role of father. Like, have we forgotten what an actual father does? It's like the moment that a man, and I think this really needs to be hit on, he can be a loving father, voicing some great wisdom from his experiences, wanting to be there for his kids in person, take them to the games, the doctors, and much more. But it seems like once this topic of money comes in, it's like, fuck all the other great traits that he may have been able to greatly contribute, which actually I think is more heavily weighted for a child, son or daughter, than anything. But it's like, oh, once he has money, oh, I can just pretty much file for child support, but and get what I need because of what you should be doing. Or it's like a man is nothing if he can't financially support. And I think those kind of things, it just makes this whole view of child support worse, and giving the ability for women to take advantage and leverage it against guys. Now, I will say there is some effed up guys out there that need to do and step up to the roles. But what I don't like is like this whole child support system is used as leverage to basically destroy and dismantle men all over the place, and it's getting out of hand just for your fucking selfish benefits, which I do not like at all.
Well, you said something about how females use the money regarding child support and relating to father. Being a father is a choice. Being a father is a choice. Being a father is a choice. And as a choice, it's up to the individual whether or not they want to do it. If they don't want to put the work in 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, that's their choice. Just like it's your choice to whether or not when you got an itch, do you want to scratch it?
Where you about to go with this?
Father is a choice. Money is not going to force anything. And that's what's going on with some females. You're using money as a tool to force somebody to be something that they don't want to be.
Oh,
You cannot
say it
do that.
again, because I need to hear that. They need to hear that. They need to hear.
Using money to force someone to be something that they don't want to be. That will never work. It hasn't worked through up to this time, through the years. So why do you think that you are something different that can make it work when all these women before you and some that are still living, still struggling to get an individual to be a father when they choose that they don't want to be a father?
Yeah,
Is your and my question and my thing is this: to do that, one thing, and I'm gonna be honest, your twat is not 24 karat gold or platinum. You cannot make someone do something they do not want to do and be.
He said what he said. He went on back. He meant that with all caps. He meant that. Your twat is not 24 karat gold. Uh-oh. That's going to piss off some people. But that goes back to what I was talking about, entitlement. And I think that is what's really driving a lot of that and much more. And
Entitled to what?
They think because of this golden 24 karat twat. Yeah, I said like that just before.
A dude
They
can
are
find the
entitled.
same thing. A dude can find the same thing with another woman, and it may be bigger, deeper, wider, wetter, juicier. That doesn't mean nothing to us. I don't care how many twerks you do on it, or whatever the case may be, or you bend over.
You heard somebody's feelings. You heard somebody's feelings right now. You heard the feelings.
That's only a moment. And the guy is 9 times out of 10. If he has any kind of substance inside of him, he's looking deeper up underneath what you performing. And if you don't meet him mentally and be on the same level,
He's not gonna last. Cause like, look, I'm just being a man too. Like, yeah, we have that, but like, if I'm not building some kind of connection with you mentally, I'm be like, man, next. I don't see no like why. Like I can get that from somewhere else. I don't find, like you were saying, no substance in that. And what's gonna really, and I need ladies y'all to understand that. Okay, so this goes back to what you were saying earlier. You can't just put funds on this thing, certain things, and force a man to be a father. And then y'all gonna, some ladies gonna be pissed off with this, but you know, listen and let me break it down for you so you can understand. Let's say you force this superstar athlete, whatever, to paying $5 or $6 grand. Oh yeah, we making $7 grand every fucking month since you want to be a damn gold digger. Yeah, I said it like that. And you're like, okay, you get the $7 grand, but he's nowhere to be found. All the big moments of birthdays, the graduations, those important lessons like of how to be a man, or like, you know, when the young daughter needs some kind of male or her daddy around to be able to support, or some kind of mental support to get her through, he's not there. He makes choices if he wants to be part of his child's life. And you forcing him to pay is not the steps or the things you see in father figures like that. It takes more than money, is what we're trying to get y'all to understand. It's the actions behind being a father that it actually lands a heavy weight on things, that actually molds a child mind to become a great productive adult and to achieve their dreams and know their purpose and much more. You can't buy that. That takes time and precious time building and bonding with the child to actually have that happen. That does not happen with money. You can throw all the damn money you want to at a child, but it will never, ever, ever be as heavy or impacting as actually spending quality time, because you got richy, wealth kids and much more that haven't seen their fucking father, and then they have abandonment issues and much more. We wonder why? Because the father wasn't there. So what the hell do you think going and aiding what you were saying just him, thinking just throwing money at this and getting this money from child support is an actual father? You can hate me. I don't give a damn. It's my damn show. It need to be said. But that does not change the action of an actual person.
you're right. But the thing about it that needs to be highlighted in what you said that was not mentioned and not pushed is the character. Character dictates the person. And too many people ignore the character, just like this young lady when she laid down with the individual, Anthony Edwards. When she laid down with him, she ignored his character. That was her fault. She chose to do that. She could have gotten up and left. She could have closed her legs and said, nope, business closed. You know, she could have done that when she knew his character, but she chose to ignore the character. Now, he also, in a way, is guilty because he ignored her character, knowing that she probably already knew, being as famous he is, that he have kids and who he with and all of that. But she chose to continue. So it's the character that people keep ignoring about somebody.
Exactly, in the fact that he was looking at some nice ass and titties and ignored all the other signs. As guys, we are definitely at fault for that. So yeah, that definitely needs to be considered because character is the biggest thing, male or female, that we need to pay great attention to that because you got to think like, how are we going to raise our families? What lessons are we going to be taught? Like, is this the person that I can work with through issues or challenges that may come up, because it's going to happen? What if I get sick, and much more? We look so much just at funds. And one of the comments that and this destroys me every fucking time, because you got hard working potential fathers that can be great raising family household, but are always overlooked because they're not making the six figure or $90,000 and much more. But you rather hook up with this person. Oh, they look good on paper, but you don't really find the characters of a person unless you spend time with them. And then you get upset because this person is now treating you like trash because you didn't have or build the time to know the person as they are. Money does not, if anything, what I've been told, money exposes the person you are in due time. It may look all shiny and much more, but when you get past all that, those play days, or as my grandma say, y'all in that was a puppy love kind of stage and shit, that it ain't, they ain't shit, they ain't shit. Wait till you get to the real thing and stuff really start hitting the fan. The challenge if y'all bond is like this and strong. Like, are y'all gonna be able to handle through the trenches and work throughout y'all differences and much more? And I think nowadays it's like we're having more women looking for like a cop out for child support, or they're saying like, no, fuck your characteristics. I need to know if you're financially stable. You know how often I hear that? And they hook up a person that looks like they may have some funds and much more, but as soon as they get into some trouble, they can't communicate with the person because you ignored all the other character traits of this person and individual. It's like you literally hooked up with the damn devil just because it felt good or it looked good. But now you want to get out because you're getting a reality check.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you want to close on? Because like we knew how to do another part two with this one. I appreciate your
Well,
time.
well,
But
well, well. Before, when you was talking about the character and things of that nature, there's no that people don't understand, and I like what one of the watchers put on here. It says, we need to learn to know each other before having these babies, 2 to 4 years," and that is true. We do need to do that, but the problem is this: impatient. The other problem is this: people think they can control everything and every single piece of
I'm about to get
element
up out of
around
my
them.
chair with that one.
That's the other problem. You cannot control anything but yourself, your desires, your wants, your
Say it
needs.
again for the people in the back.
You can only control yourself, your desires, your response, your reaction, your thoughts, your feelings. That's all you can control. You cannot control anything outside. You can't control nobody's thoughts, nobody. I don't care if it's a child. A child still would develop their own way of thinking
And
some way,
choices.
somehow, and their choices. You cannot even control when you stop breathing or not breathing. It's automatic. You cannot control when the birds are supposed to fly, not fly. You cannot control if a person coming in or a business or anything that's in a bad mood or pissed off mood or whatever. You cannot even control how long your gas needs to last past whatever the vehicle is supposed to say.
No, you
You
need
can
to get to do that.
you can't control nothing but your mouth, your action, and your thoughts and your emotion. That's it. That is absolutely it. That's all you can control. And this is the problem. Now, I'm gonna send you something. And before I know you said you want to close, people don't understand about love.
Uh-oh.
And because my people lack knowledge, this is the reason why we are having issues. Because people use the word love and just throw it out there. but they never really sat down and really analyzed what is love and how does it apply to me or in my situation. Look at it. Eros. What is Eros? Right? That's romantic love.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Just romantic. Okay. Then you have the other one. Then you have love for a family. Then the next one, brotherly love. But the real love is the agape love, unconditional. That's it. What do most people or most of our people focus on? Romance love because we
I'm
want
about
to
to say
screw.
Eros, yeah. Yep.
Family love. So if you're not part of now, if you think about it, if you're not part of that family, I had a last name. Do those people really love you? If you
Man, you
wasn't
going
part of
deep.
that family,
You going deep now. Going deep now.
brotherly love, united. If you didn't even have that, like in the military, I got love for my brothers. But if you're not in the military, my love is not the same. There is a difference. And then we used to be a spiritual people, and we have lost that connection. And this is one of the reasons why we have so many problems, like Anthony Edwards with the psychological issue, as well as the young lady with the child support issues, and other females that are pissed off because he paid up front, but yet and still, that was a smart move.
He protects his damn self.
And he has a choice whether he want to be a father to that child or not. It's up to her as a choice to decide how she's going to raise that child to have confidence in themselves, knowing that her father doesn't want to have anything to do with that child.
And if you
That's
really
her
want
job.
to think, and they're not gonna want to hear this, she got what she asked for. If you think about it, she honestly did. She wanted the money, she got it. Now, after that, you gave freedom for him to decide if he wants to actually be an actual father in his child's life. Because after this, you can't come after any more money. It's already paid up in front.
That's it. That is it.
Just tell them go ahead and tell them where they may find you at, because we done pissed them off. They're gonna probably try to come after you. Nah, miss.
Hey, every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on the YouTube channel. But you can also find us at Spotify. Check us out on Spotify. Check us out on iHeartRadio, Pandora, and all the great podcast platforms. But most importantly, check us out on our website for the hottest merch. As a matter of fact, the hottest merch that I'm wearing now, it says, "Don't censor me."
Don't censor me. Man, oh man, it's been another great episode of Street Topics. We hitting on the child support and much more. It's your host C Holmes. As always, you can find me on YouTube, the social media at C Holmes, as you see at the handle below, and much more. Continue as I tweet and much more of like all the different platforms, audio in the gym, wherever you may be. We're gonna find you. We're gonna get your voice. Either comments out loud, we have eyes all over the place. I'm just saying, your job. But the main thing is to getting the word out so that your voice is to be heard. We're not scared. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and keep the conversation and discussion going, because that's how we grow. So what may I leave you out with today? I'm going to follow up with you, like what you said earlier. Accountability is something else that not so many people want. That's all I'm going to say. Accountability is something else, but not so many people want. Until next time, see you until next episode. Peace.